Alright, so here's my stage plan checklist for a 3-gun stage. Number 1, where do I start? Number 2, what targets are mandated or optional to be shot with what? So if something is paper, slug, pistol, or rifle, then I may start changing my stage plan and I may include a slug in the shotgun to shoot it, depending upon how much of an advantage there becomes with that. What targets are likely to be missed? So if I pass a spot or if I go too quick, what am I going to miss? Where's that piece of paper that is going to become an FTE? Where's that piece of steel that's going to be disappearing behind a barrel if I'm not careful? Number 4, are there any magical locations or landmarks? What I mean by magical is if I stand in this spot, everything appears. If I stand in this spot, I can see 6 targets, but if I'm 4 foot to the right, where everybody is probably going to think they want to start or go to, they can only see 2. So eliminating the number of positions a lot of times can help. Developing a number sequence with landmarks. What I'm referring to here is I remember numbers well. So if I'm doing let's say a shotgun stage, and there are 3 targets on the left, 4 targets on the right, I'm going to +8, and then afterwards there's a big tree on the left. As long as I don't go past it, I can get 6 targets on the left, +8 rounds. Then I can see at the rock, 4 targets on the right, then 3 targets on the left. Okay. So I can take the number of targets available when I'm going to do my reload as I'm moving to that landmark. One of the ways that makes it easy to find that is I'm not typically looking at my gun or my caddies as I'm reloading if I can avoid it. Keeping my head up, looking for that next landmark, loading as fast as I can to get there as quickly as I can. Then at that landmark, I'll typically try and break down. Doing something like this, I'll shoot on the move less, pick a point, hammer, speed to the next point, hammer from there. So this would be a number sequence with the landmarks. Something that I can easily remember, something I can easily write down along my thumb that would be next to the vent rib as I'm loading. I can write on my forearm where I can see it while I'm loading as well. So if I need a reminder, I can look over and see it then. So as an example, I'll give you my stage plan for stage 1 at the Extreme Texas 3-gun. So on this stage plan, the orange box in the back is where we had to shoot rifle from. And from that point, we had to shoot the poppers in the back. So for my stage plan on the left side of this triangle, I can see 3 paper, 1 paper, 1 paper, 2 steel. 3, 1, 1 steel. As I'm over on the right, 1 paper, 1 paper, 1 paper, steel. Now, it's not symmetrical, so I can't see these 2 paper, and I also can't see this paper or this one. And as I look through it, I found that the paper that I'm going to be likely to miss is here, and it's real likely to miss some of these targets on the side. So this became an important sequence to remember. Okay, up here from the center, I could see all of this, no issues there. From up here in the center, I could see this piece of paper, and this paper, but I can't see this one from in the center in the front. I had to take another position and step back to get it. I didn't want to do that. So as I left from this position, I shot these 2 paper. This was the paper that I'm indexing on. I want to turn, see that paper, make sure I've got it. That's the target I remember, and then once I'm done with it, I know I can dump my rifle. Make sure not to break the 180, dump it. So a possible area where I could have gotten a penalty or a DQ is coming around and breaking 180, coming back. Draw my shotgun from here. I could see these 2, and then half step back these 2. A quick move to the left, I can see these 2, then these 2. Add 4 rounds. I could see 2 on the right, 2 on the left. Add 12 rounds. See everything from the center. Stopping here, I loaded 4 slugs. I burned on my steel here, paper, paper, paper. So I knew that this was another one that was going to be easy to miss because people would shoot these 2, then hear the arrow go, if you are done, which we all hate to hear. So my plan here was to go by the numbers. 3, 1, 1 steel, 1, 1, 1 steel, 2, 1 dump. Done with the rifle. Shotgun, 2 and 2 right, 2 and 2 left, load 4, 2 right, 2 left, load 12, left to right, add slugs, burn on the steel, shoot the last 3 paper. For me, it was a relatively simple stage plan. I shot it very deliberate to make sure I was going 1 for 1. I had a penalty in a previous stage where I ran out of shotgun shells. But what I found was this worked fairly well for me. I placed fairly decent on that stage. I definitely could have gone faster, but the likelihood of missing, pulling a shot, something like that, could have come into play. In my opinion, shooting from back here on the little mini poppers back here, these mini poppers were where most people were going to lose the stage. Wasted shots back there. So as I came off these 3, 1, 1 on the paper, I took a little more time making those hits. Then 1, 1, 1, and a little more time making those hits. After that, I could open up with the rifle a little more, and then shotgun, making sure that I'm getting my hits and that I'm getting 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 2 because these disappear, and 2 because these disappear. One of the shooters right before me ended up leaving one of these pieces of steel. So nice little 15-second penalty for him in that stage. Really hurt his stage time that otherwise was pretty competitive with mine. So where do I start? What targets are mandated and optional? Everything forward was optional. These were mandated. What targets are likely to be missed? So if I'm likely to miss this target, these 2, and these 2. So the number sequence on the shotgun became important. Making sure to get that before I move forward became important. Are there any magical locations or landmarks? There was here. On the corner here, I could get these 2 paper and these before I dumped it. From the left side, I could get this, and forward, right side. So location here, location here, location here. In the middle right here, there was not necessarily a magical location, but it was an area that I had to remember. 2 right, 2 left. Okay. Then from the front, everything was pretty straightforward. I developed a number sequence to remember and what landmarks to hit and where I had to go. I had to finish in the center. I had to break in the middle, right side of the barrels. And then my start was back here. So where do I start? What targets are mandated or optional to be, and what can they be shot with? What targets are likely to be missed? Where are you going to get your penalties? I could have been DQ'd here for breaking 180 coming back. Are there any magical locations or landmarks? And develop a number sequence with landmarks if you can.